There it is.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. The Tyler household looks like it. Doesn't this look like ring light footage? Like, right? Like somebody's in Tyler's room robbing him, right?
Yep.
So,
what the bastards.
Like father, like son, you've got the wrong hat on, but we'll get there later. Eventually, everyone's here, which is phenomenal. Welcome in, everybody. We appreciate you checking out the show. You can track down this and other frivolity in a video format at atbshow.com on our YouTube channel. Above and beyond that, we are on all the other socials. The one that you'll see us on the most, and when I see us, I mean the royal we of us. It's actually Rubber Shoes every morning doing the Rubber Shoes wrap up and rant. That is on the Instatubes. And you'll see him on there every weekday morning. In our Instagram bio, the link tree is there for everything else social. The five of us are here. There's so much to get into. And we usually do a rudimentary job of putting together some sort of a list. We haven't even done that. So Godspeed. Here we go. We've got.
We don't have to talk Red Sox today, right?
Adam's microphone is doing that.
Oh.
So yeah.
I'm switching it up. Forget it. I'm switching it up.
Brick it.
Yeah.
DJ Adam.
How's that?
It's echoey, and I
do it better than Zoom.
It sounds like crap. So I mean,
I do on normal Zoom calls.
It's better than your mic breaking.
All right.
And you know what?
Right.
The chat just filled up. The female fans are
That looks
thrilled
better.
they can see your face.
Oh, thank you.
Everybody's very excited. Look at them go. Look at them
Loving
go.
it.
Anyway,
Tyler bought that hat specifically for the color. That's why.
yeah,
Oh,
no,
what?
I don't give a damn.
Is there a
And I
black
can't-
light going
I
on in
can't-
your room? I can't
I
tell.
know,
what
what
it
is
is.
it? You
There's
have
a
like
black
a-
light on right now.
What is
actually.
happening?
yeah, like do you guys
Like a
you guys
rave
pulling,
happening in
you
your
can
room?
pull in weekend shifts at Spooky World? What is taking place?
Oh,
Well, he totally forgot that we had a show. So
I
that's
knew.
the
No, I
first
knew
thing.
about it. I just didn't realize.
We
what
all
time it
agreed
was.
Wednesdays would be best.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Anyway,
was like, holy.
so
crap,
what
it's
color is
fine.
your Oriole hat? Let's get this over with, and I'll tell you
it's
why
just-
I sort of care about it. Go ahead.
It's just green and like purple.
Okay.
It's just nice looking.
Yeah, I guess
It's not like I
dig
can
that.
curse them. They suck enough, anyways.
The only good thing about the Orioles is the fact that Jim Palmer used to pitch for them, and he used to wear number 22. And a young Douglas Richard Flutie used to live in the Baltimore area, loved Jim Palmer, and that's how he chose the number, which has now become my number. So that's my only connection.
That sounds like a 30 for 30 if I ever heard one.
yeah,
But-
yeah. They're
so
gonna be
actually,
hearing
Ty-
about. They'll be hearing about an hour to cut the show, and I need to borrow your microphone.
Please, please.
Tyler's gonna reverse curse them. They're gonna end up in first place next year.
Oh boy, God help us.
6 degrees of Doug Flutie.
So yeah, where do we always, isn't it always? Where do we want to go first? What are we starting with, boys?
Well, we don't have to talk about the Red Sox, right? So that's good.
Well, we have to talk about the bow out.
Is
How
that what we're
depressing
calling
it
it?
was? Yeah.
A what?
We
Bow out, yeah, I guess.
genuflected out of the
Bow out.
playoffs. Yeah.
The fact
we
that they
kicked
couldn't
your
score a
ass for 2
freaking run.
games and then we just bowed out. It's horrible.
Doesn't that happen though when you sort of blow your load and it's like, all right, I got nothing left? I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
Is he on the phone with legal?
After the
Is that
show, we'll let him go after the show.
He's on the
Okay,
phone
yeah.
with Pornhub.
I'll remind him it's a children's program. No, it's fine. Okay. Yeah. Just Adam. Okay. Thanks.
Yep.
That's management. That's all.
It's more.
Yeah.
It's more the microphone problem, really, than what
Yeah,
I said, right?
They
Is that what
said
is?
it. They said after the show.
Yeah, okay, all right,
you-
good,
You had a
yeah.
good run. Yeah, you can finish the show.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes. But they it was probably one of the more frustrating, I feel like, losses in recent memory because of the way they started the series
yeah.
and those games where they were scoring so many runs. And my friends and I were joking, like, save some,
Mhm.
in jest. But then, no, really, you could have saved some because they scored 3 runs over the final 3 games.
Yep. Absolutely.
But
Yep.
I think it was 3 runs after this.
Oh yeah, from
Honest.
yeah.
I love that Rubber Shoes brought that up.
Talked about it last week.
Cora lost his mind.
Yep.
And from a juju standpoint, like I hate that. Like when we're watching, and not you could do it in baseball, any sport. Anytime we start to get calls that don't go our way, I feel like we're creating this stock of juju. Like we've got some cosmic justice coming our way. And when he did that, and I didn't see it actually happen in real time. But the whole story the next day was about how Cora got worked up. Don't do that. Gave him the big dad hug and clearly said to him, we don't do that. Yeah, everything did turn. And did that ultimately have anything to do with it? No, I think honestly, there's going to be more coming out about people with really greasy / sweaty / questionable foreheads. Some of the rotation coming off the ball after his knee got fixed. Because Rubber Shoes, you were deep in the chat talking about that. Like his knee hurt, but he picked up like 1,200 RPMs the next time he took the mound.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this because I'm a sore loser, which I am. I have a website if you want to join us, join the team. I'm not saying this for that reason. I'm saying it because it's where there's smoke, there's fire. And they've like, well, no, it couldn't be the same. There's also audio of the clear and consistent whistling that's happening. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm happy to be out of the conversation right now. And I truly mean that. Let it be the Braves. I hope they steamroll them. They already took one at home, which is phenomenal. Do they play again tonight at 8?
Yes.
Yes.
8:09. 8:09.
8:09. I
On the nose.
It's a weird time.
Yeah. Watch the
Yeah.
time. I'm dying to watch all of this unravel.
We got to
And-
give a shout out to Charlie Morton from last night.
That
Right?
was ridiculous.
The fact he apologized, he's like, I have
I
a broken
know.
leg. I only threw like 16 pitches. I'm sorry, I couldn't do
Yeah.
more. Broken leg, man. Jesus.
Unbelievable.
So he must have. So he got hit, took an X-ray. It didn't show anything. Went back out, pitched, and then on that last curveball that he threw, you could see he went right to his leg. So he must have tweaked it and cracked it right then. Like
caused
it was
the
probably
fracture.
like
That was just the whole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then he went back and got an X-ray, and look at there is a fracture there.
Yeah.
Well, I like to you back to your point, Timmy, though, about like I saw some Merloni tweets too, where he was basically, you noticed in game 1, he wasn't touching his head. Someone must have talked to him about it or whatever. And then of course he got, he didn't have a great game. He kind of got lit up. So, it's super suspect. I think if it's almost any other team except for the Yankees in baseball, this is stuff that's not necessarily brought up, or it's not necessarily as scrutinized or, noticeable. But then when you take into account, it's these cheating sons of bitches from Houston that, you know what I mean? That absolutely do these things, that bend these rules constantly, or just blatantly cheat. Yeah, it's something to bring up. And yeah, I mean, I'm a sore loser too.
Do you guys think there's a piece of Cora that
On the
saw
show.
stuff happening and said, "Oh, I can't say anything. I can't possibly say anything," because the last time there was a fire, I was one of the people that was involved. Like letting,
course
like the
he's
way
not
I
gonna
feel
want-
is
yeah,
let
he's not gonna
Atlanta suss this out, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't said anything about any of this stuff. I'm sure they've asked.
I'm sure
him,
he's
but,
golfing right now. I don't think he cares. Probably, right? I mean, wouldn't you be? I would be.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's going to come out and say anything because of his relationship, and he wants to keep, especially I think how much he talked about how blessed he is to be back in baseball, right? At the beginning of the year, so happy to be back in baseball. It's an opportunity for me to be back in baseball, blah, blah, blah. He's not going to bring anything up that might lead to being like, well, you can't really say anything because you cheated first or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You were part of the original cheating thing. So I don't see him coming out and saying anything. That doesn't mean that fire isn't still burning. You know what I mean? Like there's still something there. And I see it, unhashing over time.
So the story this morning that people were talking about is when it gets to Devers and Bogarts, like are they gonna deal with them before we get into their next year? Do they do something right now? I mean,
Xander's already signed for a few years. I know.
is he
that.
though? Yeah.
Yeah, and Devers is just he's arbitration eligible. So he's still under control for the Red Sox. It's just whether or not, they say, okay, you can go to arbitration and try to get a raise, or they give him the raise before he goes to arbitration.
They each have 2 left, right? They each have 2 left on their deals. Well, other than Devers with the arbitration, but they each have like 2. I want to say it's like 2 more years. Okay. So next season and the season after that. But that's usually when baseball will come up and be like, yeah, we want to extend you or something like that. This is usually around the time.
I don't think they're going to do anything because the collective bargaining agreement is ending, and they're probably going to have a lockout. Major League Baseball's already come out and said they're going to lock them out if they don't come to an agreement. After they got really good ratings for their baseball this year, and now they're going to
until
throw it
this
all
series
back in the tank.
Like I wonder what the
it's-
viewership is going to be for the rest of the series. Like
I think it's going to be good because especially if Atlanta gets a lead Like if they
Oh,
win
phenomenal.
tonight,
Yep.
there's going to be so many people looking just to see the Astros lose. It's pretty much you got the Houston area. It's not even all of Texas.
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
isn't voting for them. It's the Houston area is voting for them, and the rest of the country is voting for the Atlanta.
Yeah.
Which I never thought I would ever root for an Atlanta team.
Well, and Atlanta's historically, I think I was blown away that is it Trust Park is what it's called now. Atlanta's new place. I was surprised that they had gone from Olympic Stadium, which they just built for the 96 Olympics. And I know that was a long time ago. And then they built the new ballpark, and then like another one, they're just cranking out ballparks. And I'm like, they are historically
since the 90s.
It's
and
unbelievable.
We still have the same one since 1912, which I think
it's a gem.
Yeah,
I'll
obviously.
It is really nice now. They've done a lot of upgrades to it. It doesn't
They
feel
should
like
just
the old
expand
park.
the seats a little bit, though. A little expansion for the people that are a little bigger than the rest of.
It's my lawyer talking to the crowd.
Hey,
right now.
I was just
Mr.
glad
Lindsay
when
would
they
like
got
a
rid
little
of the-
more left and a
A
little
little
more
bit
right.
more
Yeah,
room, and leg room would be great too. Yes,
I was happy when they got rid of the trough urinals.
Somebody said
Yes.
during COVID, they're like, I can't wait to go back to Fenway double fisted and have a beer knocked out of my. I'm like, I can fucking wait. I don't want to deal with that. Like, I am absolutely
Yep.
buoyant. I have no desire to sit next
I
to
know.
Ricky Ticky Tabby. You know,
You and I are the only ones, though, Timmy. I think you and I are the only ones that haven't gotten back there yet.
I since COVID, I haven't been back.
I was
We-
kind
Oh,
of
me
there.
neither. Yeah.
We historically go at least
He
once
enjoyed
a summer, sometimes
Scotty
twice
enjoyed a
summer.
rain shower there.
That's right.
Oh, Scotty, you never got to see a game? I thought you went back for a game. No.
Oh yeah.
Nope. No, because it was
You
like
got to sit in the seats.
yeah, it was like kind of it was like Monday, like a Monday afternoon game. Like,
Oh,
that's
okay.
not-
All
that's
right.
not gonna happen.
I was there for a game, a rain, and a game.
Game, a rain, and a game.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess the whole conversation about money and what they're going to do is intriguing because I think they realized they almost got away with it. Like, cause
Right.
you know, Schwarber actually showed up and had some really big hits. I think they're going to feel like they don't need to lean in to spend the money. You know, when those conversations come
Well,
up.
he
I don't
didn't
think
have
that-
a hit after he had the grand slam. I don't think.
Yeah, we're not going to use the
Who
phrase
did?
Adam used earlier. but
Exactly.
yeah,
That was the whole
yeah.
team basically.
Nobody
Yeah,
did, man. They just couldn't
they-
hit at all. And
they
the at bats, I
folded.
think, was like the most frustrating thing. Their at bats
Yeah.
were freaking
They-
horrible.
They
I mean,
really
even
needed.
JD Martinez usually works a pitcher really well.
Mm.
He was swinging at just garbage.
Yeah,
Like, what are you doing, guys?
they
It was bad.
they weren't patient at all, and anything that was in the strike zone at any point, they were swinging at it. So that's why they were looking awful against the sliders. It was really bad.
Are you at the firehouse? I'm prepping
Yes.
Adam for some. Yeah. Is the probability that the bell could go off?
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
and
Yeah.
it's
Over
very
under.
loud in here when a call comes in.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I mean, I want everyone in Lowell to be safe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, obviously.
yes,
I like
yeah,
the setup, though. I like the setup with the flag behind you, and you look official in the chair. I like
Yeah.
that. That's good. That's
the
good.
wainscoting. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
good,
it looks real
very
good.
Yeah. So
This fire station was built in 1877.
Whoa.
so it's haunted. Plus, love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
It
Excellent.
predates Fenway Park. That's pretty good.
Yes.
So the
Honest to
one
God.
I was in the
Gem.
last time I did a show from the fire station, that one was built in the 70s. This one's
Episode
built
2, Burgers and Tots. If you're looking.
1970 something.
The
This
archive.
one's built 1870 something.
Scroll.
So this one was 100 years before the last.
So are you on food duty tonight, Rubber Shoes?
No,
What's for
little
dinner?
little different at this fire station. There's one guy who usually cooks. He's not in tonight, so I don't know what we're doing.
Oh, geez.
Probably take out. I brought some food in just in case they pick a horrible place to go to. So
Now you're there until when? You're there until like 8 tomorrow
Tomorrow.
morning?
yeah,
Wow. That's a gig, man.
Tyler's like, thank God. Thank God. I get the couch to myself. Where's Mother Shoes tonight, Tyler?
Just got home like 5 minutes ago.
And an even
Didn't
better
you-
question.
didn't you hear him yell at her?
Where
Yeah.
is Little Heels tonight? Why are you not heading out with her? Are you heading out after the show with Little Heels?
No, still lives
Oh.
very far away.
Yeah.
So that is-
Oh,
it's
what
far
town is
away?
she in?
She lives 40 minutes away.
Where?
Oh man,
We've
Beverly.
gone over this like 18 times in this show.
I've,
She lives in
I've never heard
Beverly.
you say that she's. In
I've never
Beverly.
heard you say that either.
Yeah,
never
no.
once.
I've heard him say that she's from
Yeah.
the North Shore at least
Yeah.
twice.
Oh,
Beverly.
no,
That must have been on all the belts.
yeah.
Coming
You're
soon, guys.
confusing
Don't
the
worry.
genres
Coming
now.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should start a show called All the Beverleys.
Are we done with the Red Sox for now?
Please,
Please, I
please.
can't.
Yeah.
Do
For
it.
the love
Right.
of God.
Where
Let's
are
be
we
done.
we going to the puck? Are we going to the basketball? We
Go
going to the football?
some Celts action. Maybe save the Patriots to the end on a nice positive note.
I think the Celtics are on a positive note. That
Yeah,
was a
why
great
not?
game.
Sure.
It's a great game. I'll take it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Jaylen Brown ended
Oh,
a
here
man's
we come.
career.
Oh, is there a call coming in?
This is
Do you have a GoPro?
Turn it up.
Jen?
Turn it up.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, do we get to go on a ride along?
Yes.
I want to
Call
ring the
in
bell.
from your phone.
I'm not in on my phone.
Can Billy Rubber Shoes Corey come
Yep.
to the kitchen? Burgers and tots are needed in the kitchen.
Well, can you imagine what all the other guys on this
Imagine
shift
that
are
in
like,
the middle of the night when you're trying to sleep. Yep, I gotta go.
I love all
Oh,
of this.
yes!
I love
Yes!
all of this. All right, Rubber Shoes, leave it there. In
Yeah,
memoriam.
don't do
Leave it
anything.
there.
Go, hurry up.
Just that's it.
Hot
Yeah.
mic. Now,
Oh.
Adam,
Now we see this chair has a huge hole behind it. I don't know
Adam,
what's happening there.
I realize you're 3 hours away, but if you drive quickly, you can use his microphone because that's.
Oh, that
Keep
was
talking.
great.
Keep talking. I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Adam's gonna drive up from Connecticut to use his mic. Oh, if you,
I'm back.
yeah,
I'm back.
yeah.
Where
Anyway,
yeah, Celtics, good win. Jaylen Brown killed a man. That was cool too.
Dude, that dunk was unbelievable.
I
And
I
in
like-
overtime, late
I
in the
lost my
game,
mind. Yeah.
freaking just pounded right on his head, man.
We
Just
probably should
absolute-
mute Rubber Shoes, though, don't you think, Tim?
oh, can I? I suppose
Yeah, I
I
think
can
you
do
can
that.
mute him.
Obviously,
Sorry to
I
interrupt the
apologize.
Celtics
I was not thinking.
Oh,
There
good.
we go. There we
There
go.
we go.
Yep.
But you know,
I feel like we should unmute him, but anyway, I appreciate the editorial expertise. Yeah.
Yes, please.
But it was, I mean, after the first two games, you know, the one thing I would say that concerns me through four games, but they don't play a lot of defense right now.
Yeah.
The
Which is
Celtics
weird
are,
because I
you
thought
know,
they would have been a really good defensive team. with
me
who
too.
They got
Me
you know?
too. But yeah, no, it hasn't been a lot of defense. A lot of Ole, you know.
I've liked
Dorn,
Schroeder.
but Schroeder's look good.
He's
He's looked
he's like smart, but he doesn't throw up random bad shots that don't make any sense. So
Yeah.
Well, Schroeder
It's
can
smart.
actually shoot.
And Smart actually hasn't been that bad. I don't think
Yeah,
Smart.
I mean,
Well,
that
he
game
only
winner
played one
alone.
game, right?
I'm sorry.
no,
Smart only played one game.
he
I
had the
thought.
game winner in the first. Well, not game tying shot. And
Right.
he played against the Hornets.
We played the first game of the season too.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
know
what
that.
else, yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Buzzer beater.
Well, so what
Yeah.
is the, like, you know, I mean, and obviously, which is unbelievable. He's been here for 22 years now, Belichick, or it's been longer than that. Actually, I've lost track. Anyway, that aside, like, you just know when you look at him, you know, like, okay, he's a defensive minded coach.
Yeah.
What kind of coaching staff do we have? Are they not a defensive coaching staff? Like, is that your heads up? Like, we're going to be run and gun and they're not going to play defense the way they historically have, especially Marcus has been, that's what he's leaned on. Right.
Right.
Yeah,
That,
I mean,
that and taking the shot he shouldn't take.
I mean, I'd say it's early.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if like Udoka's not. He's not a huge defensive guy. He is a.
I mean, he was with the Nets. I mean,
Yeah, he's a pace and space guy. You know what I mean? But he does have some of that, you know, Popovich type of, you know, it. The way that I think I look at him is like he's gonna dictate. He's gonna not dictate. He's gonna kind of watch the flow of the game, and then he'll try and dictate and try to figure out what, you know, how the game is going to run, and then try to adjust to that. You know, with still keeping, you know, role players into their role and you know, doing it that way. But you got, like, you know, some of their assistants like Damon Stoudemire, you know, Mighty Mouse, didn't really play much defense. So, you know, from a coaching perspective, those guys and a few others on the bench, yeah, there's no like Tom Thibodeau, where that's, you know, when Doc Rivers had Tom,
Sure.
you know, and Thibodeau was over there losing his voice, even as an assistant coach, you know, break down, you know, just screaming at the top of his lungs. You don't really see that. You don't really have that right now.
That's not at the firehouse because
Dog
I have the
action.
firehouse muted, so I don't know who
My
that
dog.
is.
I started
My dog,
laughing.
sorry.
I just looked
How
up
many
that-
dogs do you have,
the empty
Adam?
chair.
Just one dog,
Just one dog. Okay.
15 pounds.
Oh,
Lots of fury coming out of him.
I was gonna say
Bulls are undefeated.
smaller than
First
all of
time
my
since
cats.
96.
Yep.
The
They
Bulls,
going
I
all the
know,
way?
4-0, 4-0.
And
It's so
what do you?
early.
Who's your pick for this year? Help me with that. Like,
For the NBA?
yeah. I mean, well, give me. Who are we going to be looking at in the playoffs? Because you'll remember last year, one of my great notes for
think-
dumbasses was that we were definitely going to see the Miami Heat going deep.
I
Yeah.
think
Because I
Golden
felt like they were
State
going to.
looked
I was
like-
completely wrong. Also completely wrong. Don't forget. Let's go back to the Red Sox real quick. What did I say? I said two things were going to affect the. Going to have a big effect on the series. I said COVID. Absolutely wrong. Because apparently that's just gone now until Thanksgiving. It'll be back. It'll be back for turkey time. And then I said Zambo is going to be like the player, and he was terrible. So who do you, Scotty? Like, give me the big four. Like, who do you expect to see in the show?
I mean, in the finals, I mean, it's tough. So from the East, I still like Milwaukee. When you got Giannis is still, one of the best players, if not, becoming one of the best, the best player in the league, and they brought everyone back. It's all going to depend on, can they sustain, how healthy are they going to be and how tired. The East is really wide open, in my opinion. I don't see like the Nets are kind of a hot mess. They still have Durant, but they'll probably be there.
Yeah, and Harden's missing out on the 15 points you get from free throws.
Exactly. That I love that, by the way. I freaking love it. And I love the complaining, and I love Steve Nash being like, he's the most impacted player that's going to be impacted by this rule change. Shut the fuck up, Nash. Go back to Canada. I want to freaking hear it. Go back to Santa Clara. Anyway, so, with the Celtics, I still think between a 3 and 5 seed. Knicks are much better this year. I do think the Bulls are better. I mean, I don't think they're going to win the championship, but I do think they're a lot better.
They could be like a 3rd seed at best.
Yeah. The Nuggets, I think, are still going to be really
Hornets
good.
look good too.
Hornets do, but
Golden State look crazy, and they
Yeah.
don't even have Klay Thompson back yet.
So that's my sleeper, which is hard to say.
I was, it's Golden State, but I mean, especially if they can get Wiseman going, just to somewhat of his potential. I mean,
absolutely. If they stay healthy and Klay comes back at Christmas, and Wiseman and some of their other young talent continue to grow, and they have Draymond and stuff like that, that team's going to be really, really scary in the postseason.
the Lakers,
really, really
I don't
scary.
even.
I love that you haven't said the Lakers yet, and I was hoping
It's a wreck.
it's
a
so
mess.
it's so bad. It's so fun to watch.
Well, listen, like Westbrook dropped 35 last night, which cool, whatever. But every single year, the first 4 months, terrible, worst player you've ever seen. And then the new year comes, and then for the next 3 months, it's, oh my God, triple double every night. He's the best player in the league. And then the playoffs start, and then once again, back to just the worst player ever. He does it every single year. So that's not going to have much of effect. You got freaking half the team fighting each other. Half of them are two steps to the retirement home. So I don't even. LeBron's already starting to get hurt. So
that was
tonight
incredible,
because of his
and I
ankle.
thought it was really incredible for a homer like Magic to comment on that. Did you see what he commented?
No, what
He's
did
like,
he
in
say?
all my years in the NBA, I've never seen two players on the same team fight the way they fought or get
and
into
it
it.
was into the second game of the year.
Second game. It was magic.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So I'm thrilled. I want to watch that house burn to the ground. Like, give
So
me
do
a
I.
lawn chair and a stick and a hot dog. Like I detest and I know we talked about this all the time. The super team formation within the NBA drives me nuts. And the LA is arguably right now the biggest offender. It's just laughable. And I appreciate, and you could say, well, go to football. Tommy's creating that. That's influence. The fact that Tommy got people that he's made them a destination.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about him when we get to football, but like he's made them a destination. And I think LeBron is, I think people are like curious, not convinced. They're curious. And then they get there like, oh no, he's just a jackass.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with the Lakers, though. This is my take on the Lakers. So you brought in all these guys. You brought in Carmelo and Russell Westbrook. All these guys are alphas, right? They're all used to being the star.
Yep.
Right. So you don't have it's okay if you have one or two of those guys on the roster, maybe even a third, but you don't have any role players around you. You have all stars that are past their prime.
Yep.
So, sure, you could say any given night, one of them can go off like Westbrook did the other night. But you could also say that they're all going to clash and want to have more touches, and that's going to throw off their chemistry. I'd be shocked if they were there at the end. Honestly, I would be really shocked.
They'll make the playoffs. I don't think.
Oh yeah. No, I agree. They'll make the playoffs. Yeah.
But even you look historically, like Westbrook, he's done his best when he's on a team where like it's really only him doing well. Like look at when he was with KD. When KD left, he was so much better. Like 2017, all that. And he had all those points when LeBron was out. When they had their opener, he scored 6 points. So, I don't think he works well in a big three system like ever.
He also can't really shoot either, right? So
he lost his 3-point, which is it's very
I mean,
random.
so LeBron drives and kicks. I mean, if he kicks it to Russell Westbrook, you might as well just get out of his way because he's going to have to drive because he has no shooting game.
Did you see the funny quote that he actually had after the overtime win last night or whatever it was? They were talking about him pump faking and then getting someone to go in. And he said, Russell Westbrook was like, well, I don't really have to worry about that. Not many people jump at my jump shot. To close out, not many people are jumping.
Also on the LeBron thing, did you see the thing with the Squid Game guy?
I haven't seen that yet. I heard.
I haven't seen the show yet. My girlfriend's yelled at me 50 times, but he said something about how he hated the ending to that show because someone asked him the post game, and the creator of the show said yesterday they asked him about. He's like, "Have you seen Space Jam 2? What does he have to say?"
Wow.
Yeah,
I have seen Space Jam 2, begrudgingly, but it was the worst movie of all time. Period. End of sentence.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was
this
so
is not
bad.
The movie review show yet. Sorry, guys.
Oh
yeah. All the box office. Coming next
coming
week.
soon.
Yeah.
All the blockbusters.
ATB, baby. Yeah. We'll make it fit.
All the box.
Well, I think from the West perspective, though, it'll be interesting because you got a lot of unproven teams, like Utah and which
Utah could every single year they're really good, but no one takes them seriously because they know they're going to lose in the playoffs anyways.
And it depends if Kawhi comes back at all this year for the Clippers, and we'll see there with Paul George and those guys. So, it's pretty open. It's so hard to say who's going to be there, especially the first 4 games. But gun to my head, my top 2 from each would probably, and it's terrible to say, but Bucks, Nets on the East, and then West. I'm actually going Warriors and Nuggets, to be honest with you.
All right.
Are the
no
two
Philly?
You're
not mentioning Philly. I didn't hear you mention
Philly
at all.
Oh my God.
You think Ben Simmons is going to get traded by the end of the year?
I don't. Because I think
this is
what
going to go
Morey
on
came out with. Daryl Morey came out and he basically just stated that we will hold on to him unless we get the King's ransom that we're asking for. In so many words, obviously, I'm paraphrasing, but they're asking for a ton back. We're talking multiple years of first round picks and some talent, the current talent, on the team's roster. So, and no one's going to do that for the friggin' head case.
They are going to
is a head case.
Purposely harm the team's own thing just to prove a point to one guy.
Well,
they're going to make things work and keep paying this guy money.
But at some point, a team has to do that, right? Because right now, the players have the leverage. They just do. They can say, "I'm sitting out." I mean, it's ridiculous. They're under contract. They should play, but they can say, "I'm sitting out." And the teams so far have bent to their will. And so Philadelphia is like, "No, we're not going to be that team. We're going to not bend to their will, to his people's will, and we're going to keep him on the roster, and we're going to make his life miserable."
And the thing is, I don't know who it was that mentioned it. I want to say it was Barkley. He came out and said this type of atmosphere that the NBA has cultivated,
right,
where the players have so much power. When the CBA comes out, you talk about baseball having a lockout. NBA is totally screwed. Yeah, totally screwed because they're going to sit back, and the NBA PA will sit back and be like, "We run this league. You don't." And then that's just the way it's going to be. And it's going to be awful. It's really sad for for fans, it's really disappointing, but they've become so blatantly just prima donna babies. And, look at, the Kyrie situation, you got the Simmons situation, LeBron's done it for years. There's a whole bunch of that stuff now. And it's sad.
Ben Simmons has just killed his stock. One thing that was interesting, someone asked Shaq about it on some podcasts, and he said Ben Simmons is the laziest player ever. He's when Lonzo Ball went into the league, how awful his 3-point shot was. It took him 2 off seasons, and now he's out here actually making consistent good shots.
Shooting
He's
42%
like, you're saying
now.
Ben Simmons couldn't have done that? He's a lazy bum or something. I'm like, yeah.
He's right. He's right. The kid's
yeah.
got tons of talent, but he just doesn't want to put the work in because everything's been given to him. And that's
Yeah.
the way that it is right now with like all the AAU and all the stuff. Like these kids, they're, there's a bajillion prospects out there, but as soon as you reach like top 50, all of a sudden all coaches bend over backwards because they want you in their program and they just start giving you stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what these kids grow up with. You know what I mean? You don't really hear like the stories anymore of like kids, having to fight and claw and do all that. It's
they don't get that
like
time to like season as a player regardless anyway.
So we're only about a week in, and you said you're concerned about the defense. What are you most excited about for the Celtics?
Honestly, outside of game one, Tatum has looked really good. He looks like he's actually committed and dialed in, but that's a 1B to my 1A, which is Jaylen Brown just taking his scoring and just going boop, way higher than I thought he was going to, especially at the start of the year.
It was like a giant spike right
I
up.
mean, he's way higher than I knew he was going to be a better scorer this year. I expected him to be a better scorer this year. But the way he's done it has been absolutely amazing. It's the legitimate 1-2 punch that they absolutely need, where again, everyone, as long as like Marcus Smart and everyone else buys into their role, that 1-2 punch from us, you won't need a lot of points from everyone else if those two can continue to play like they have been. And they've been, pretty freaking good.
Another quick jab, because it is Celtics related, this whole Enes Kanter stuff, like all the stuff he's been saying. His political, all that stuff, we know that that's been, but now he's starting this thing. He wore Jordans that said like made by slavery or something like that, and he's trying to speak out against that, which is just gonna it's not going to end well for him. And it also kind of negates the point that you paid for them and bought them to get them customized to say that. So you're giving the cause that you're against money, but he's going to talk out about all this stuff. And probably, I'm shocked that there hasn't been people coming after him like before, regardless.
Well, he's been pretty outspoken his whole career.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, 1,000%. But I hear what you're saying, Little Shoes. Like, you guys know that I finally made the leap and went this way. And Adam got mad at me because he's like, "How are we friends?" Because years ago, Adam was an iPhone guy. Like, you and I were all Mac, right? Like, but I hadn't made the phone move. So now everything I have is all Apple, all in. And you were giving me, but you were just like, because you went back to Samsung, you weren't making a political statement. So
right.
Did I also?
Although I could make that statement too.
Did I also love that Samsung was South Korea and they're our friends, and this is designed in Cupertino, built, to your point, Little Shoes, in China by 5-year-olds. I sleep fine at night, by the way, if anybody's asking, because my phone's fine. That being said, you can go down that road, but you had to either you're still wearing them, so you're still giving Nike clout and complaining about the production of them at the same time. So it is, but I do understand where he's coming from when he speaks of his own country, and the problems that are going on there. So
he can't even go back. He can't even go back to his own.
No.
Crazy.
Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, like, props to him for talking about that, but I feel like maybe it might start running his course where he says a lot more stuff that, while maybe as a point isn't the best idea. And I mean, who knows where he's going to end up on the team and stuff if he keeps.
Well, he'll probably be told to shut up and dribble.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And if he says no, then his ass might get cut,
Yep. Well, and to put a bow on the Celtics in basketball, with the commitment they made financially to Marcus Smart, which was interesting. Interesting. Do you think, because you mentioned that I was feeling this watching the games, do you feel like the two of them came together and decided to create an alliance that we are going to be the leaders? And I mean, JT and JB, do you feel like they've come together and they're going to be the leaders, or now there's a struggle to be the holder of the conch shell for your literary reference to Lord of the Flies?
I'm a little concerned because I feel like Tatum isn't always been known as the big team guy. He's definitely taken a bigger step in that role. But I mean, it's something to think about. I mean, if they're committed, I hope so.
Yeah, I
look at
I don't know.
two-
I don't know if it's like we need to set ourselves apart from everyone else and be the leaders, or they're both working to be the leader and we're benefiting from it because they're both playing
Yeah, but
just this different level of
if
basketball. To your
Brown's
point, Scotty.
starting to work on the same level as him, and then there's kind of a
Yep.
you know.
Yep. I don't know.
Hmm.
Just wondering. I don't know what your thoughts are with that.
I mean, I think in this day and age, right, you already have, like you were talking about the super teams, you already have 2 of the 3 players you need, right?
Yep.
So if they can make it work, they're probably looking at each other going, we've already got this locked up. The Celtics just need to invest in one other
more.
free agent and
Yeah.
bring somebody in. And we've got that super team built in. So I personally think they're probably working as hard as they can together to make it work and, put up big numbers. I'm not off of the team yet. I think they still have some room to grow this season. I mean, obviously it's only a week in.
Sure.
I think they'll definitely make the playoffs, and I think they'll make some noise in the playoffs. I don't know that they'll make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, but I think they'll make some noise for sure.
So you look at it though from and to your point, Tim, the organization, Stevens and the organization definitely went to them and talked to them. Look at who they hired.
Yep.
They hired Udoka.
Right.
Big fans, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Right. You bring in, yes, you bring back Smart, but you also bring him back. And Udoka spoke candidly about him changing the role that Smart had. So that conversation was happening. And then for the third thing, if these guys are buying in the way they're buying in, guarantee management and other people are saying we'll dole out money possibly to get wink wink your buddy from St. Louis that you loved so much as a kid, Bradley Beal, bring him in. There's your big 3. Right. So if you start to see that and you see them doing the leadership thing, you see them buying in, you see them, wanting to do that, and they have the ability to say, oh, we'll listen to you on who we want to, or who you want to have come into, of course they're going to I think they'll step up as long as that's the case. So we'll see, we'll see how the season goes, but bless you, Tim, or Adam, whatever. I don't know if that
Both
was
of us. Yeah. He's just handing out blessings.
Blessings.
Yeah. I think we need
Bless
to
yourself.
exercise his microphone too while we're at it.
All right.
You got the beads out, Father. Yeah. All right. Has anybody spent an entire 60 minutes plus commercials watching the Bruins yet?
No.
I've seen some scores, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah, no, I just
There's
I
just a
thought it
lot
was
going on right now. I mean, it's
Let's throw it to Rubber Shoes and see what he thinks.
I
couldn't
guess
agree
he
more.
doesn't have
Perfect
anything to
analysis.
say.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Anybody hear him? Oh, I
Love
didn't
it.
hear him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how about them Patriots? A
Oh, we're-
50
I
burger.
want to see if we can hear anything. Hang on. Oh, I'm clicking and it just says ask to unmute.
Oh,
Shouldn't we be
man.
able to unmute?
That would have been.
Oh,
If you're the
no.
host, you should be able to.
Yeah, I thought I was.
Pull him
Anyway.
back the curtain, boys. Pull him
Yeah,
back the
it's fine.
curtain.
Yeah, we have no idea what we're doing. It's fine. It's fine. No, I'm excited about it. Janina, so my wife's company does, it's AMI Graphics, shameless plug. Doesn't really matter. So AMI Graphics does, they do all the Bruins stuff. They're getting deeper with the Celtics, but they do a ton of stuff at the Garden alone, because obviously the Jacobs own the Garden. So they're doing a lot more stuff, and they have season tickets, obviously, as professional partners with oh, here he is.
Whoa! Welcome back.
Wow.
How many babies did you save?
You got
So
to
many
unmute.
babies from the fire.
Couple of kitties out of the trees.
Unmute. Yeah.
That was burnt
Another
food.
cat saved.
Burnt food.
What?
Burnt food.
Burnt food. I thought he said it was for food. They got into the truck,
Yeah.
ran the lights, ran the siren, and picked up Taco Bell.
Yes.
The run for the border.
No, they did all that, and then they got there and they threw some baking soda on the
Back
on the
just in
stovetop
time.
and
We're
ran
just
away.
about to get into the Bruins. Tell me what they burnt. Tell me where they live. I'm gonna go. It's cold and rainy. I'm going casserole. I'm
Yes.
going the acre.
I was outside. I
I'm going
drive the
third
truck,
floor.
so I stay outside with the truck.
All right, you can still tell me what was the food?
I don't know.
What neighborhood?
It
The
was up
acre?
up in Drum Hill,
Yeah,
Oh,
Drum
all right.
Hill.
right on the border, the Lowell Chelmsford border. Those
Single family home.
apartments. No, those apartment buildings
Single-family home.
behind the
Third floor.
laundromat.
Third floor.
It was the third floor. Yeah.
Yeah. I did
Nailed
all
it.
right.
Nostradamus strikes again.
Yeah. Casserole, the acre, third floor. That's
It was,
always
prob-
the
it was
answer.
probably curry.
Oh,
Oh,
All right, we're moving along. We're moving along.
Show.
What about the Bruins?
Yeah, Ennis Cantor is going to be on the phone. Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
But yeah, so you just came in time for Patriots talk to close out here.
Oh yeah,
Look at
the
what
Bruins.
Little Shoes is like, we're skipping right over it. We're going right to the Patriots. Yeah, just in time for the Patriots.
Oh, my
man.
biggest thing, if you've listened to any of my wrap up rants the last week, is that it's 2 weeks into the season, the NHL and NBA, and the Bruins and Celtics have played 3 nights at the same time, and then they also both played on Sunday. So 4 days they've been scheduled on the same day. It's ridiculous.
Well, there's the tonight is the Celtics, the Bruins, and the Revs, right?
Yep. And
Revs.
the Celtics had to play back to back Sunday, Monday. The Bruins are playing back to back tonight, tomorrow. I don't understand what the schedule makers are doing.
He's got no time.
They just
Ridiculous.
don't care. I don't.
And you're supposed to be putting out casseroles in Drum Hill.
Yeah.
How do you make it all work? All right,
He
talk
watches
to
it
me,
on his
boys.
phone.
Talk to me about the Patriots. How are you feeling about it? I mean, I think it's unbelievable to think that we were heading into week 1 before the cut was made. And we're like, God, when do you think Mac might start? Because some of us loved Cam. Some of us were like, I'm ready to move on. I mean, sitting there looking now, I think he's at his pass percentage is at 42%. He's top 5 for pass percentage in the entire league. And he just looks
72%.
mature.
72%, right?
72.
Thank God.
72? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It wasn't Cam starting.
He just looks mature.
Looking back, looking now, imagine if we were talking now and this is the week that Mac Jones is finally going to start. Very thankful that.
I think what's weird about the Patriots though is that it's almost like you don't know what they are yet because they're 2 of their 3 wins are against the Jets.
Sure.
I mean, it almost doesn't count, right?
And their other games against the Texans.
And right. And then you have the Dallas Cowboys game where they looked like they could keep up.
And
right.
same with the Buccaneers.
They did keep up. They didn't even just look like it. They did keep up. So it's hard to say where they are right now. I think it's really hard to say. This
game, this Sunday is probably the most telling one because we're not here for moral victories anymore.
All the so-called experts like us on their different podcasts and shows and radio shows, they all think they need to go 7-3 to finish out the season to make the playoffs. And it's going to be tough.
Well, you've got the Dolphins one more time. That should be a win, right?
So
we haven't played the Bills even once yet, so we've got them twice.
That's 2 losses.
The Dolphins, the Jaguars, and there was one other that could be.
You can beat the Panthers and the Falcons.
Browns. If the Browns don't get Chubb, Hunt, and Baker back, that's probably a winnable game.
It is. I mean, they had. We talked about this a little bit last week. I do feel like they have a relatively favorable schedule to end it. It all depends on as they continue. They've been growing each week. No one, we're not going to see. Most likely not going to see another 50 burger. That's not going to happen. That's just the fucking Jets being the fucking Jets.
That was so good.
That was amazing.
I mean, I do feel bad for Zach Wilson. I'm surprised he didn't exit until after it was 2 plays after they folded his left knee.
Right.
He went down again. And I'm watching him get tackled that first time on the sideline. And I'm like waiting for his fibula to just snap. I'm like, why am I watching? I should be averting my eyes because his leg's about to break. It was like Dak Prescott part 2. And I feel bad for him. And at the same time, I'm super glad that we got the win. I think it's funny that Brady always never liked the Jets. And without fail, clearly they are the one team he would never tell you he circles it on his schedule. He circles it on his schedule.
Oh yeah,
Belichick cannot stand that team. It will always be a border war in his heart. Always. Which I love.
I also love a lot of. I feel like a lot of them were like, "Oh, Brady's going. We finally have a chance to, maybe compete with the Patriots." And then
Yeah. Nope. It was awesome.
Just as bad. Yeah, that was the most Jets performance game I've ever seen. Like your star quarterback getting hurt halfway through is just the most Jets thing I ever saw. So it's
up there with the butt fumble. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think Mac Jones,
we had a
though,
toe interception.
Yeah, that was crazy. Kyle Duggar, who we all
Yeah.
got mad about in the draft. Who's Kyle Duggar? He's filled his gap. I think he's been pretty good for sure. And JC Jones looked pretty good, which is good because he was horrible. What's that?
Jackson.
AC Jones.
Oh, oh my God.
Jonathan Jones out for the year. JC Jackson. He did look.
Thank you. Yeah, JC Jackson. Yeah, he the week we got rid of Gilly, he looked terrible.
Yeah.
It was like the universe cursing us, and he looked solid last week, which was, and again, it's the Jets. You can put it all in context. It's the Jets. We could also show up against the Jets right now. Do you agree? And look horrible. I think we are Jekyll and Hyde. We're capable of both.
It's the Jets. The
Yeah.
Jets are a different breed.
I don't think
Awful.
we've been that Jekyll and Hyde though.
I mean,
To be
against the
honest with you.
Texans,
I mean,
we were.
we did have that stinker against the Saints, but everything else, I mean, we've been kind of in the games.
Well, they
Not Texans.
they
I
pulled the
understand we
Texan
won,
game
but
out
like,
their ass.
if the Texans didn't have a punt bounce off someone's helmet, we would have a much different conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right.
But,
I don't know. I think
but
Mac
then
Jones
they played
has
a
looked
really,
really good.
Yeah.
I think he's thrown some balls that are just, I hate to say it, but Brady-esque, right? And he can actually throw it deep, which is nice, which we haven't seen in a while. So, I think we're
The
in a good
quarterback's
spot.
not our problem.
Well, I'm saying no, I understand that, but
It's the defense, and they're
But
going to
here's
have
the-
a tough time this weekend against the Chargers wide receivers.
but the reason I bring up Mac Jones though is because it's so hard. Just look at all of the rookie quarterbacks around the league. It's so hard to find a quarterback out of the draft, and the fact that we did. So great, we have him. Now let's go build a better defense. Let's go build a better offensive line. Let's go build all of these other things that we need to build that are much easier to fit the pieces in place than finding that quarterback. I think we have a quarterback for the future, which is great. I don't know what that means for this season, but it's great for the future.
That was Adam's best hot take, I think,
Yeah.
in our entire life. I would like to end the show right
You
now.
said something good.
Hash brown better without a mic. That was amazing.
Better with him. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm in love with you. That was phenomenal. Yeah, that was
All right.
well thought out. He delivered. Yeah. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining the show.
Send tulips to 74.
Are we going to start
yes!
talking about Scotty?
Don't say the
Sprinter again?
address.
Don't
I will
send any
eventually.
tulips.
Eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, good win. I mean,
It's good
kind of
win.
what we expected.
All right, now we're done.
Good night.
Yeah.
Now we're
good.
done.
We're good. Good night.
Had to close it
That's-
somehow.
Did you know? Did you close it?
Yep, really did. Really
Did you
did.
close it?
And
Did really-
scene. Yeah. Curtain comes out and
Wow.
closes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. What are we not? All right. We've got a little open space if people can hang out because Rubber Shoes has already been on one casserole run. I'm sure there's some beef Wellington that's about to ignite, but we got a few minutes. And the beef Wellington is definitely going to be over where? Give me the neighborhood where the beef Wellington would be.
Well, I only go to 2 neighborhood areas
Oh,
Drum Hill and what?
in the Highlands.
The
Tim
Highlands.
is just obsessed
Basically,
with
that's
like
the Highlands. Yeah.
just
I don't think
addresses
anybody's
and
making
areas
beef Wellington in the Highlands.
on these shows.
there's
I
no
live
beef
in the
Wellington.
Highlands.
No, they're not making beef Wellington.
Well, do you make beef Wellington, Rubber Shoes?
I don't make anything.
I'm not, I'm not
Burgers and
shitting on the
tots. That's
Highlands,
it.
but-
Just the burgers and the tots.
Yeah.
I cook.
No, can we-
I cook meat on the grill. That's what I do.
Oh,
Can we talk about the greatest job in America
Just-
right now is definitely Bruce Arian with his
Oh,
fake
yeah,
mic pack.
100%.
I think it's a juice box. It's strapped to his chest like an EKG, right? And he's got that strapped on. The boom is usually up, not in front of his mouth.
oh yeah. He's not using that.
You never see him doing this, like, right?
Right.
Because he doesn't have to block his mouth because he's never saying anything. And I think he got too much credit for last season. He'll get too much credit for this season. We've discussed this. We know the whole time Brady's been there, he's been calling the offense. Their offensive coordinator, help me.
Byron Leftwich is
Byron
doing a great
Leftwich,
job.
also second easiest job in America.
Oh
Uh,
no, I think they're Byron and Brady are working really well together.
How much do you think Byron has input though? Help me with that.
I think it's pretty good because you look at last year. It took about half the season before they started clicking, and now they're both on the same page.
But did you like that's? But that was Brady coming back and being like, "We should institute these plays. We should run these plays."
right.
You think about because what did you see him?
That was
did you see
Brady shutting
on
off
the
Byron's
Manning and
mic
Manning?
in his ear. Yeah.
Did you guys see Brady on Manning with the Mannings on Monday?
Yeah, I
watch
just saw the highlight of it.
So Brady
That's
actually
the best
talks
Monday
about-
Night Football. When Monday Night Football is horrible, like it was the other night, that's the best thing to watch.
Oh yeah.
Oh, without a
100%.
doubt, I watch
Beast
it anyway.
mode,
I
dropping
those
bombs.
guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Marshawn Lynch
Oh
doing
yeah.
pitiful Henny shots.
And Peyton was
I'm here for it. It's so good. Go
I
ahead,
love that
sorry.
every week Peyton has to apologize for someone swearing. Also, very insignificant and random trade that just happened. Mark Ingram just got traded back to the Saints.
Okay.
Just
All
interesting.
right.
Weird.
Somebody had to do it.
Breaking news.
Yep.
Yeah, breaking news
Yep.
during the show.
Good game.
Always big. Oh, yep.
Good win.
Good
They're
win,
going-
guys. Good
They're
win.
going with Le'Veon Bell and Devonta Freeman.
Aren't
Yeah.
they in
No,
in
he's not.
Baltimore?
No.
Yeah.
Ingram was on the Texans.
Oh,
I'm
Wait,
hearing
what?
all of the YouTubes shut off at the moment.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Scotty, what were you going to say about Monday
So
Night
Brady
Football?
came out and asked Manning. He goes, he's like, I was trying to basically, I want to paraphrase here, but he was trying to ask Manning how long it took for him to institute the Colt offense in Denver when he got there.
Yeah.
And he's like, it only took you like 1 or 2 games or something. Because apparently he texted or called Manning like the day before week 1, or 2 days before week 1 last season,
Mhm.
and was asking him like, how long did it take for you to institute your offense and
Oh, no kidding.
the Colt offense in Denver? And Manning's like, I don't understand why you called me 48 hours before your first game to ask me that. You should have asked me that from freaking week 1, or for preseason week 1. It was pretty funny. So I know that, I agree with Billy that Leftwich has some input. I think that Brady puts in way more. And I think that's a huge reason also why everyone blames Belichick. I think McDaniel is also kind of,
Yeah.
pissing some Cheerios there a little bit too, to get where he wasn't letting Brady call a lot of plays and get involved too. I feel like that's got to be, a little bit some
Yeah.
responsibility.
Interesting. No, you're right.
That's true. I mean, if you've been there for 21 years and you can't call the plays, that's not great. Yeah.
How many times you see him? How many times he spouts off at everybody, at some point or another, but I feel like him and McDaniels get into it more the last 3 seasons he was there, or 2 seasons he was there than previously.
Oh yeah.
Especially on some of the calls, he'd be like looking at him like, oh, fuck, no.
And now
Right.
I feel like 2 former Patriots are getting younger every time I see them. Number one being Teddy Beercan on ESPN
Oh, yeah.
Sunday mornings. Every week looks better than he did the week before. And I say that very comfortable in my skin. He's a good looking guy. He's always well dressed, and he looks younger
Absolutely.
every week. And Brady, I have never seen in my entire life, which is long. Never seen him come out anytime ever in the history of ever, even on a vacation with his wife and kids, with a hat on backwards.
Right.
And now he's
Yes.
rocking the backwards hat. And I'm like,
Yes.
he actually found another way to look younger than the rest of us. And he's younger
Right.
than me anyway.
100%.
But like, he's making 44 look like 28 all day.
Oh yeah.
And
absolutely.
then that couldn't have been any more storybook. The kid holding up the sign, Brady helped me beat brain cancer.
Oh, yep.
Oh
Oh,
my
yeah, that
God,
was
I
awesome.
know.
And then he
Come
goes
on.
over and gives him a hat that's probably signed, and the kid's crying. Like, just all of it.
Yeah.
We didn't
Like-
even talk about the Brady 600 ball.
Mike Evans hands it away.
But did you
You
see
think-
it on the sideline after too? He's like, I gave that away. He's like,
Yep.
he
Right.
didn't
Yeah, they're
realize
like,
it was
where's the
600.
ball? He's like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
He's like, I
And
gave
that-
it away. It was like
That
freaking
guy
out.
got a pretty well. I don't think
He
the
could
guy
have
got a
gotten
good trade.
$600,000.
I don't think the
for
guy
that
got a
ball.
good trade. Correct, little shoes. I think he did okay. He got balance of this season, next season, one bit.
Brady's giving him a Bitcoin.
which is so arbitrary. I'll give you a Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I'd be like, dude, I'll take a Snickers at this point. That'll probably last longer and be worth more in a week.
Hey, a
right?
Bitcoin's worth 63 grand right now.
It's 63K, but that's not
Well, he
600.
gets like a Brady signed picture, Brady helmet sign.
Yeah, a
I think
couple
he
of
got- yeah, he got-
jerseys, Mike
stuff like
he
Evans
got
jersey.
Mike Evans helmet
That's right,
and cleats
and
from the
cleats.
game, I think.
Yeah, they
So
did all right by the guy, but it's just sort of funny that nobody was cognizant of the fact that Evans, like, I don't know, Evans should have been sort of aware of that. I guess it's cool that he wasn't because they were involved in the game, but that was pretty incredible. Well, and I threw this out. We were talking about it, and Fanboy at the Firehouse was like on board with me, and then all of a sudden I just said Brady's unbelievable on his way to his 8th, and all of a sudden, in comes attorney at law William Corey, and he's like, well, I think the Cardinals will have something to say about that. So I'm dying to hear And I know they're undefeated. I appreciate that. They're ranked 2 in the league behind the Bungles.
Who?
The Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Are the power rankings?
Oh,
Are the Bungles
been
1, the
first.
Cardinals are 2, or vice versa? I can't believe I'm saying this out loud in America right now. Who's first, the Bungles or the Cardinals? But the
well,
power
it
rankings
should
have them
be-
like
it
1
should
and
be
2.
The Cardinals.
The Cardinals
Do you-
have been.
Do
Bengals
you
were like
think
fifth
rubber
or
shoes? I
something.
guess my point is rubber shoes. Do you honestly think when it gets down to it that the Cardinals are going to steal Brady's cheese?
No.
I
Okay.
personally don't think the Buccaneers are.
Well, I
even
just
gonna
thought
make
it was
that
funny
far in
that
playoffs.
you were shitting all over Tampa Bay's coach and stuff, and then you're gonna say he's gonna win another one.
I didn't say he's going to win. I said he's still going to be there with a juice box and his boom up.
He said he's going to get credit.
There's a
but he doesn't
seat for him
deserve
on
it.
the bus. Doesn't mean that he has any input. He has zero input.
Does Arians get into the Hall of Fame if he wins 2 with Brady?
Ugh, I hope, for God's sakes, not.
He probably does. But
Probably.
look at some of. I know, but we get to that
NFL's
August
pretty
weekend
lenient.
where they
Yeah.
play the game in Canton and they
Right.
roll out the Hall of Famers. And I think the NFL does a pretty good job, and they still let too many people in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Right?
I know one coach that won't. Mike McCarthy.
He
is
hates
horrible.
Mike McCarthy. He is terrible. though. the best coach of all time was freaking Freddie Kitchens for that 1 year in Cleveland. That was like if
He
you
has
ever
to
saw
go down
any of
as
those
the
games,
worst coach ever.
No idea. I remember once they had
Dude, we got to-
they were in the red zone for 8 straight plays and they called the
Yeah, you
exact
want-
same running
fire
play
him
8
after the
times in a
show?
row.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, he understands. He said good win, and he shouldn't have. But the Freddie Kitchens thing, that's
But yeah, off of the anyways, good win
okay.
for the Patriots this week.
All right, we'll let
Just
him.
one.
We'll let him know. Yep.
Good win for the Bucks too. Actually,
Enjoy the rest of the show,
Think-
little
yeah, they
shoes. That
won.
was management. Yeah.
Oh man, management is on a tear.
Yeah. Yeah. She's not happy. She's
Yeah,
not
well,
happy.
You know, we did
Oh,
go
boy.
over 5 minutes.
So yeah,
on
what
our
are we?
time,
Are we
so-
hitting our the predictions real quick then?
Predictions for the Cardinals.
Chargers and
Lakers?
Patriots.
Chargers, Patriots.
Before we head out of here,
Chargers, Patriots.
let's start with Adam. I'm
Go for it.
running the show now.
Oh,
And by the way, the
good win,
fantasy
and he's
league
got
that
all
nobody,
sorts of-
the fantasy
Oh,
league that nobody cares
slaughtered.
about.
I slaughtered this week.
The fantasy league that nobody cares about.
Mrs.
I lost
Shoes
by 1 point
destroyed
Dugan.
Bubba.
points to Adam.
Dugan
I
finally lost.
I thought I was gonna smoke you when Brady was throwing. I thought he was gonna throw.
I
8
crept
touchdowns
back in
that
and lost
game.
by 1.4
Yes,
points
take
to Adam.
that. That's
Dugan, who
about
did
the
Dugan lose
distance
to?
From my house to the
Mrs.
Hilton Garden
Shoes.
Inn.
Oh, mother shoes.
Mother
Well,
shoes.
it helped
Took
that
out
Mahomes
Dugan.
got
I love it.
knocked the F out.
I took
Still love the
Bubba
fact
out.
the Chiefs suck right now, by the way. Love
Yeah.
Oh, the Chiefs
So
are
what
Oh,
is
yeah, it's
Vegas? Can
hilarious.
anybody look and see what Vegas is saying is supposed to happen this weekend? Where do we stand with the Chargers game?
I bet Chargers are favored by 6.5. I bet.
That
That's what
was
I
gonna
gonna
be
say.
And I trust that's going to
Five.
be a 425er, right?
Five.
Is that a
Yeah,
425?
it's 425. Yeah.
Okay. So the Chargers are given 5.
All right, so I'll do my pick. I think the Patriots.
They're a
In-
5.5 point favorite.
Okay.
I think the Patriots win 35-31.
Okay.
High scoring.
Go ahead. Who's next?
I'll go. Go ahead, Billy. Go ahead.
I'll say Chargers 32 to Patriots 21.
Want to keep the shoes in the family? All shoes in
Yeah.
the family. Go ahead.
Little shoes.
Shoot. Well, I at heart believe the Patriots are gonna win, but I want to say the Chargers because then that means the Patriots will win. Because I just realized the one time I picked the Red Sox to actually win this year is when they finally lost.
Seems like a lot of theory happening.
Well,
over
you know,
there
there's a
in
lot of
Lowell.
gamblers out there waiting on our every
Ava's
word.
here for prediction time. I love this.
She is.
Yes.
Come here.
Yes. Bring her in.
Yes, Ava.
Charge.
What's your
Oh,
pick?
what's the-
Okay, who's gonna? Are the
That
Patriots
Dr.
gonna win
Ava?
Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
Are
no,
they-
no, no, no.
What's the score?
leading the witness?
Yes.
You're welcome.
Take my shoes.
Patriots
Oh,
lose.
wow.
No, she said take my
Patriots
shoes off.
shoes.
Ava,
Oh.
Ava, do you think the Patriots or the Chargers are going to win?
I just got one.
Oh, she
Okay.
agrees with
The
me.
Chargers or the Patriots are gonna win.
Pictures I got one.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
whatever,
last
whatever
team.
you
Yeah,
say
this is
last.
the thing.
Do you think the
It's the last-
Chargers or the Chargers are going to win?
Hey, I want to go upstairs, Dad.
I want to
Okay.
go upstairs.
We'll go upstairs. I'm gonna say 28. Yeah, I know.
Give
it's
your score,
hilarious.
Dad. Give your
Yeah.
score.
28-23, Pats.
All right. All right.
31-28 Chargers.
Oh,
Adam.
I already gave
You
mine.
gave his first.
35,
Pay
31.
attention to the show.
Pats.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Why, I'm running it now.
distracted. Chargers and Chargers.
Let me get-
I go 27-17
You want me to call
Chargers.
management? Fire you?
27-17 Chargers. 'Cause
27,
the math has to make sense. I said 8 and 9. Nobody believed me, but I said 8 and 9. I'm holding to it. So
All right.
27-17 Chargers. And I hope I'm wrong, as always. We
Always.
appreciate you guys joining us for the show. You can check out all of our video content. All the episodes are at atbshow.com. Of course, Rubber Shoes will be back at it tomorrow with the Rubber Shoes wrap up and rant. You'll hear him talking about the Revolution game tonight. Very exciting. Maybe not. Maybe you'll hear about a
Oh.
casserole in
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
bye-bye in the
Bye-bye.
acre. Yeah. You never know. You can check us out on Instagram. And of course, we appreciate you sharing our content and commenting and liking and all of that stuff. We'll see you next week, boys.
Good
Have
win.
a good night. See everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.